So Marvel's new Ultimate Universe is starting to unleash some new versions of characters that we've never seen before. One of those being the Omega level mutant Storm, and in this issue also known as the Wind Rider. I'm here to talk about, is this her first appearance? What is up, guys? Welcome to the Paper Chase channel. This is just a bit of a follow-up video to my Ultimate Black Panther review video that I did, just digging a little bit deeper, talking about the story, the possibilities, and this one kind of sparked some interest in my mind. Of course, if you want to support the channel before we dive into this video, please hit the like button at the bottom of the screen. It's greatly appreciated and really does help the video a lot. Alright, so if you haven't read this yet, I'll leave a link at the end of the video for the review on this. But one of the things that we see in these Ultimate Comics here are some new versions of characters. We have a new Killmonger in this issue, and we also have a new Storm. Now, the new version of Storm is known as the Wind Rider. Our best image of her, because it's not in the comic. In the comic, she's just kind of a bolt of lightning.
What did you say? A bolt of lightning!
But the Boss Logic cover, which is completely gorgeous, shows definitely a lot more detail. But what's of further note is that in the issue, with the appearance of Killmonger, Killmonger does refer to himself as Killmonger, but definitely refers to Storm as the Wind Rider. Me personally, I had never heard this name before, so assuming that it's a new character or a new version of this character, I did a little bit more research. And it turns out that the alias Wind Rider, or that name or version of Storm, has been used before in Marvel history. And that is in this issue right here. This is X-Men issue 153. The title of this issue is Kitty's Fairy Tales. Now, before we dive into this, and speculation, right? Because that's all this is. But it's fun spec. Nobody's trying to market manipulate or get rich off of selling this book for $10. Not happening. But let me say this. It's story speculation. You're going to get my honest opinion on whether or not I think this is a first appearance. I kind of would rather put this out there before maybe the ball starts rolling and people actually think that, hey, this is a first appearance. I need to pick this up. I'm going to give you all the facts the way I know them, and then you can make for your own educated decision if you think this is a first appearance, and I'm going to give you my own personal opinion whether I think it's a first appearance. So in this book here, what's going on is basically all the mutants are trying to put together Xavier's school back together after a big old battle with the Hellfire Club. And during all this, Illyana, a very young Illyana Rasputin, can't sleep, so Kitty Pryde approaches her and says, hey, I'm going to tell you a bedtime story. And so she fabricates this nice little fairy tale, and what she does is she starts taking all of the mutant and their power sets and kind of like converts them into fairy tale characters. Kitty Pryde is known as Pirate Kitty, I believe. Colossus is a pirate in it. Xavier is known as the Wizard. And all of these little personas are created. Now, the biggest villain inside of the fairy tale that Kitty Pryde is creating is Dark Phoenix. And in the story, and this is where the Wind Rider comes into play, in the story, Pirate Colossus is on a beach and a bottle washes up on the shore. He picks up the bottle, he rubs it, and it turns out it's a genie lamp. And out comes Storm, and she introduces herself as the Wind Rider. Then she goes on to tell the story of how her and the Dark Phoenix used to be actually very close, and then I guess at one point tried to overthrow her, and when she couldn't beat her or defeat her, she casted her into this bottle as a genie, and now she's out. And that's relatively it. The persona of Storm, or the Wind Rider, in this issue is actually a genie. She grants wishes in this issue a couple of times, and that seems to be the persona there. Now, a couple of you might be thinking, oh, well, it's just a fantasy. It's a fairy tale. It's not even a real place. How can it even be, a first appearance or even the same person if it's not even a real place? Well, actually, Marvel Database confirms that this is a real place, and it's called the Fantasy Dimension, and it's Earth 5311. and I guess that's derived from, X-Men issue 153. Earth 5311 is the fantasy dimension, and this is actually revisited by Nightcrawler in his 4-issue limited series. He goes back into this fantasy dimension with a hole created in the Danger Room by Kitty Pryde, and runs into the Bamfs, the little versions of himself there. This is also the first appearance of the Bamfs, the tiny versions of Nightcrawler. So yes, Marvel has confirmed that this is actually a real place. So it is real. It is a version of Storm. That being said, do I think that the version in this book is the same version here? No. We know very little about this Storm in the sky, or Wind Rider as we saw her. But for her to be the same version, she would literally have to show up with genie powers, magical powers, and also, as we can see from the Boss Logic cover, she definitely does not look the same. In my personal opinion, maybe, Brian Hill enjoyed that issue as a kid or something like that, and or has a special connection to that issue, and then use that name, the Wind Rider, as an homage maybe to that issue. But really my goal with this is to, one, have fun, speculate, and just talk comics, and then two, kind of put the correct information out there. If this stuff ends up picking up steam, or if this book ends up picking up steam for that reason, we'll know that chances are that it's not the same character. So I do think it's right to put the correct information out there, and then this is what I'm finding is the correct information. Fun, interesting, but it's also correct. So that's it. That's the facts. That's the previous history. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below of all of the new versions of the Ultimate characters. You guys liking them so far? And check out the Ultimate Black Panther review that I did if you haven't seen that yet. And also the Ultimate Spider-Man 1 review and Ultimate Invasion review that I did if you haven't seen that yet. But that will do it for this video, guys. Again, hit like if you could. Really appreciate it. And we will see you on the next page.